Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob and today I shall be attempting to take this Rollmatix N47 Beach Hopper from shabby to shiny. This is kind of one of two cars that I do have. I've had beach buggies that I've done before, and this one, to be honest, I always thought was a bit incomplete. Obviously the little fella sitting in there, I thought that perhaps it was missing a screen or maybe an engine around back or something on the front, but I've done a little bit of research and actually I do have everything is intact. I'm not missing anything, and yeah, I thought this would be a good opportunity to do this one today. Quite a fun little thing, and if the video reaches 2,000 likes, this one could be yours. But we start by drilling down the centre of the post, just one on this car, remove the flange and tap that hole. Please do remember to lubricate your piece. You don't want to snap it in the hole, which I have done recently, and actually you'll see this is the tap that I snapped, but I guess I ground it down, and yeah, it fights to kind of serve its purpose another day. So you can see the little fella in there, in the original paint, very odd pink base with a blue top and pink speckles. I don't know what Matchbox was thinking about. Whoops. Sorry about that. Here we go. No, yeah, right. Third attempt, and no more mucking around, I promise. So we got Matchbox Rollmatix N47 Beach Hopper, made in England 1973. So as you can see, I've already drilled this one, put the screw in there, so we take it off just to see what we're playing with. So yeah, this is what, 46 years old, this little toy. And first of all, falls out is the little fella there. It looks okay, rather immature of me, but, you know, we like to have fun here. But you can kind of really tell by his dress that how old this is really. He certainly wouldn't be wearing that today, I don't think. Anyway, you got the standard wheels here. They're not going to be used today. And then you've got the interior, relatively clean actually, this interior, but unfortunately the kind of front section there is snapped. But the body in good condition, other than of course the paint is all coming off. And here is the number 2, which is just a spares car, and what I will be taking is the interior from this car today, because it does have the kind of section at the front there intact to hold the wheels in place. Unfortunately the interior is certainly not as clean, but that's all it is. A little bit of warm soapy water and we'll have it looking as good as new. So there's the dirty one. Was a little bit of paint on there as well, but we'll be painting that up later, so no big deal. These are the wheels that we get going with today. Received these from Dan and Ellie, Orc 1976 recently, and I thought they'd be pretty cool for this this off-roader car. So we've got the casting now into my foot-long hot dog jar, and enough boiling water just to cover the casting, and then just a teaspoon of caustic soda. You may have seen that recently I put up a picture of my recent shop, where I went to a shop called Tesco in the UK, and yeah, bought myself some more foot-long hot dogs. And yeah, you guys in America go crazy over the fact that we get them here in a glass jar, in a kind of like a saline solution, like a salt water. But yeah, to be honest, I don't actually know how you guys have it in the US. I'm assuming in some kind of, I don't know, dry packaging or whatever. Anyway, back to the video. So we clean up the plastics, and you can see there the detail of this fella. I'm going to detail him out with some paints and kind of try to highlight a few little areas. The interior there has come up pretty good. Obviously, you've got a little bit of paint there. I'll take that off using my brush magic before painting it later on. And it's been perhaps 15-20 minutes or so. The water's cooled enough for me to touch it with bare hands. The paint's not falling off, but at the same time you can see that it's lifted. And yeah, just there you go, that's quite a good angle there. And quite easily just flushed down the sink. So here we have the main body of the casting. Probably 95% of the paint has now gone. The rest just flicks off, to be fair. Same with the base here. And it was kind of here that I had the kind of confirmation, really, that once I buff it up, let me turn that off. Yeah, I thought I'm not going to paint this. This looks very nice, very shiny, and I'm not a massive fan of painted bases, but yeah, I think you can see the detail there. The brake lights that will come through the body later on, they'll be painted in red. And then the main body of the casting here. There were a couple of casting lines, especially on the front, that I didn't really pick up at this point until I actually did cover it in the Tamiya Fine Surface Primer. But then after that had dried, I did kind of take those out before the paint. So a few weird angles on this one, making sure that I get the inside, obviously under the arches there, and then the rest of the casting. Bit of a bugger to try and get through the paint into the middle of those sections on the back of the casting. For some reason, unfortunately, I think you can see a little bit of shine there, but it weren't focusing, so we'll move on to the interior now. And like I say, this will be getting painted in a different colour. I went to the community tab on both my YouTube page and my Facebook page, and I asked you guys what colour would you like to see it. Of course, there were many different colour options, but certainly the most voted was orange, and like a shiny orange, you know, like a glistening, you know, something glittery. But I'm going to go with the solid orange and then go with that gold lacquer over the top. And you can probably see now where I've taken out those casting lines on the front, and I thought it just made all the difference. So on goes the orange. Now I have mixed as well some of that gold kind of clear coat in this orange, but it didn't really come out as much as I'd hoped, so I then went over the orange with the gold clear coat after this had dried. And it gives quite a kind of a deep, luxurious feel to the orange, I feel. It's not kind of it's hard to explain for me, but perhaps it's not as kind of silly orange like a fruit, you know. It feels like a quality orange. But anyway, there's the wheels there. I'll be fitting those shortly. And as I said, I painted the interior in like a satin or a matte brown. Whoops. And then I went over it with the Nuln oil just to kind of go in all the gaps and crevices, kind of bring a bit of realism to that interior. And here's that. I think you can see there how it shines. It really is a lovely finish, and it's super flat. So happy with how that laid on. To be honest, as I'm handling it, the more I handle it, seemed like the heat in my hand started to kind of make it a little bit wet again. It was odd. It's been at least 24 hours to dry, but I don't know. I think I put kind of maybe a couple of fingerprints in the side now, unfortunately. But there's the painted in tail lights. And here's the little fella. You know, this is a small piece. I've got quite chunky hands, and for me to try and paint this was a little bit difficult. But you can see he's got some blue trousers, a red coat, a green scarf, a black hat, white hair. I left the kind of colour as like a skin tone, and then I covered it in the Nuln oil to get in all the gaps there. And I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. So I'm going to put it all together, but here's a little reminder of what she looked like. And this is the result. So the other major thing you can see there on the front of the casting, when I actually put this together, I felt like it was missing something. And I looked up the original, and certainly the original had like a decal on the front of this casting, which I didn't have on mine. And I went through my little kind of decal packages, and this is a beach buggy. What is more fitting than a palm tree? So I put that on the front. I'm not sure whether I like it or not, but I don't know. I think it's growing on me. But the rest of the car, I love it. The little fella in there, I don't think he really suits this style of car, but it's what it come with. And you'll see him bopping up and down later on. Stay to the end of the video to see that. But as a little reminder, 2,000 likes. Yep, this one could be yours. So I want to take this opportunity to thank my patrons. You guys are awesome. And thank you everybody else for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you'll stick around for the next one. And then just a little bit of after video just to prove this little fella. There he goes, bopping up and down, wheels turning very nicely. Thanks.